Hello guys, ito na naman ang inyong minimum wager para magtanong sa bolang kristal. Kasi yun lang alam kong gawin, magtanong sa bolang kristal o sa AI. At ngayon itatanong natin itong sikat o naging viral na asong si Kobe na nilait-lait na mga tao ang kanyang handler. Naging body shaming sa handler at naging body shaming sa aso na payat, neglect, abuse, maltreated, ano pa ba ang mga nasabi, mga panlalait, kurap, yung pagkain ng aso, binulsa, ano pa ba yung mga sinabi nila? Comment nyo na lang guys, pero ngayon itanong natin kay AI kung ano yung itinanong ko kay AI, yung trending o controversial na aso na payat. Yan, police dog in the Philippines which a lot of people presume that is maltreated. At ito ang sinagot ng ating mahiwagang bolang kristal.
Here's what happened with the controversy over a police dog in the Philippines who many thought was being mistreated. Photos of a Belgian Malinois canine dog named Kobe, deployed by the Manila Police District's Explosives and Ordnance Division, went viral. The dog appeared very thin, with protruding ribs and hind leg bones, triggering social media outrage. Many voiced concerns online. Open quote, "Poor canine dog, all work, no food. If you can't feed a dog, you shouldn't have a canine unit." Cite turn search, close quote. Response from authorities. PNP and canine handlers responded that Kobe is healthy but going through a transition phase after being reassigned to a new handler. They confirmed his vaccinations and health checks were up to date. Rehabilitation was arranged before he returns to duty. Was Cite and Search Thurn Search 10, a leadership change followed. The head of the EOD K9 unit was replaced, partly in response to the outcry. Cite Search 5. Animal Welfare Perspective. The Animal Kingdom Foundation, KF, called for better care, citing legal obligations under the Animal Welfare Act, which requires proper care, nutrition, rest, and medical attention for working animals. Their public appeal, "Heroes Deserve Better," resonated with supporters. Official response. Table concern, description, resonated, public outcry. Users saw a visibly skinny working dog and raised alarms online. Official response. PNP confirmed the dog is well cared for and undergoing rehabilitation. Leadership change. EOD K9 unit head was replaced following public pressure. Animal welfare law. AKF invoked the Animal Welfare Act, pushing for humane treatment standards. Final take. Whether Kobe's condition was due to neglect or simply a temporary transition, the incident sparked a strong public demand for humane treatment of police animals. The authorities' prompt explanation and action, especially the leadership change and rehab plan, were positive steps. But the episode underscores the importance of clearly communicating animal welfare to maintain public trust. Want suggestions for how to craft a respectful social media post that balances concern and appreciation for canine units?
So, ayun guys, yung issue, tinanong natin sa bolang kristal at tinanong naman natin ang bolang kristal kung ano masasabi niya sa mga taong ginudge na agad yung handler, yung walang evidence pa ng yan, may medical result. At yun, pakinggan natin anong masasabi ng ating bolang kristal.
When people judged the handler before knowing the dog's actual medical results, it showed a common social media pattern. React first, verify later. Here's my take. 1. It's understandable but risky. The dog's photos were shocking, ribs showing, legs thin, so emotional reactions were almost automatic. But appearance isn't proof of neglect. Dogs can look thin due to age, breed metabolism, medical conditions, or post deployment stress. Jumping to conclusions can damage reputations if the facts later show no abuse. 2. Trial by social media. Public outrage can force institutions to act faster. In this case, it prompted the PMP to investigate and issue statements. The downside, handlers can face harassment or career damage even if later cleared, and that pressure can affect their work with the dogs. 3. Missing the bigger picture. The real issue isn't just one dog. It's systemic transparency and welfare protocols for all working animals. Focusing only on blaming an individual risks ignoring structural fixes like better veterinary monitoring, rest cycles, or public education. 4. Balanced approach is better. Concern is good. It shows the public cares for animal welfare. But fact-checking before accusing keeps the conversation fair and focused on solutions instead of personal attacks. Bottom line, people who judged early were acting from compassion, but without evidence, it risks unfairly targeting someone who might actually be caring for the animal properly. The ideal path is empathy plus verification. Care enough to speak up, but anchor the reaction in facts. If you want, I can help you write a neutral Facebook post that addresses the welfare concern while avoiding direct accusations at the handler. That way, you still advocate for the dog, but keep it fact-based.
So, tanungin naman natin si AI kung ano masasabi niya doon sa mga influencers na nag-react dito. At ito, itong mga influencer na to, yung iba dito ay mga may asong na heat stroke. At may kita niyo yung aso nila mataba, obese, at proud sila na mataba ang aso nila. Pero sa opinion ba nila, hindi abuso yung yung treatment sa aso nila na mataba o obese? Pag payat, inabuso, pero pag mataba o obese, hindi inabuso? Ganun ba yon? Mamaya, itatanong natin sa ating bolang kristal. Pero dito muna tayo sa opinion niya sa mga, mga social media influencer. Kasi marami sila nag-comment dito sa asong to. Yung mga dog influencer lalo. So, bolang kristal, pasok!
When breeders and dog influencers reacted without verifying first, the situation becomes even more complicated, and in some ways, more damaging, because their opinions carry extra weight. 1. Bigger audience, bigger responsibility. These people often have thousands or even millions of followers who trust them as dog experts. When they post emotional takes without confirming facts, their influence can amplify outrage and accelerate online mob mentality. A single influencer's post can turn one photo into a national scandal overnight. 2. Credibility at risk. As public figures in the dog community, their credibility depends on being knowledgeable and fair. If the medical report later clears the handler, those influencers risk looking uninformed or biased, which can erode trust among serious followers. Speak first, verify later might win short-term engagement but hurts long-term reputation. 3. They could have led the right way. Instead of fueling accusations, they could have used their platforms to ask for the official vet report before judging, educate followers about signs of genuine neglect versus medical conditions, advocate for better working dog welfare protocols in a calm, fact-based way. This would have shown both compassion and professionalism. Possible legal and ethical concerns. Publicly accusing someone of maltreatment without evidence can cross into defamation. As breeders and influencers often monetize their content, spreading unverified claims could expose them to legal backlash. Bottom line, when breeders and dog influencers react without verifying, it's not just another opinion. It's a megaphone that can sway thousands of people. That power should come with fact-checking discipline. Compassion for animals is admirable, but when paired with misinformation, it can harm both innocent people and the credibility of the advocates themselves. If you want, I can make a side-by-side breakdown comparing responsible influencer advocacy versus reactionary influencer outrage. It's clear how this could have been handled better. Would you like me to prepare that?
So, hindi na natin tatanungin guys. At meron pa kasi yung tanong dito. Paano naman yung mga mahilig sa asong hindi functional? Yung mga asong pang aesthetics na lang. Yung binibreed nila na hindi functional na aso. Sinasadyang maging malalaki at overweight, maging chunky. Ano pa ba ang mga term nila doon? Yung mga minsan sobrang pango, brachycephalic. Hindi ba yun abuse? Na patabain yung mga ganong aso? O i-breed yung mga ganong aso na wala nang function? Hindi na nakakakit ng hagdanan? O hindi na kayang sumampa? Yung ibig sabihin sa sumampa yung ina-artificial insemination na lang sila kasi hindi na kaya ng lalaki. O minsan yung babae hindi niya na kaya yung lalaki sa sobrang bigat nung lalaki. Hindi na sila nabibreed ng natural. So yung mga ganong dog breed, hindi ba yun abuso? Kesa sa ganitong aso na nagtatrabaho at nangayat? Pero yung mga ganitong aso guys, ano to may sarili silang pet. So, yung sa private, di natin masabi kung dinadala talaga nila sa vet yung aso nila. So, pinalis ko sa AI pero hindi niya binigay yung mga nagbigay ng negative comments. Pero may nakita naman tayo. May nakita din naman kayo. Yung nga, yung iba pa doon na heatstroke ka ng aso. O kaya yung proud na nagpapakain ng aso ng kanin lang na may sabaw. Tapos paglulutuan pa nila ng gulay. Yung aso nila. Hindi ba yun abuse? Yung gulay lang yung papakain mo tas kanin sa aso? Hindi ba yun abuse sa aso? Maintindihan ko kung wala kang mapakain, pero yung akala mo tama yung ginagawa mo na kanin at gulay, konting karne, as in ilang piraso. Ginawang Pilipino, puro kanin at sabaw. Uy, dumaan na naman yung big bike ni neighbor. Hindi lang rinig kasi naka noise suppression ako. So, ayun, hindi ba yun abuse? Ano pa ba itatanong natin sa ating mahiwagang AI, bolang kristal? So, hindi niya nga binigay yung mga influencer na. So, ito hindi na natin itatanong. At ito ang ginawa ko dito, pinaste ko lang yung mismong post ng Animal Kingdom dito. Yung iba kasi hindi ko na shinare kasi nga masyado ng brutal yung comment ng iba. Lalo na yung mga tao lang. Yung tipong, ninakaw ng pulis yung pagkain ng aso, yung budget sa aso. May mga ganun eh. May mga ganun comment. Pero ito, pinaste ko nga at inassess niya AI natin ang post.
Looking at this Animal Kingdom Foundation post, here's my assessment. Positive aspects. Careful wording. They use terms like appearing visibly emaciated and possibly suffering from neglect, which are not outright statements of guilt, but expressions of concern. Call for investigation. They requested the PNP K9 group to investigate rather than directly accusing them of abuse. Legal reference. They cited the Animal Welfare Act, which frames their statement in law and policy rather than pure emotion. Potential harmful aspects. 1. Presumption in public eye. Even if they said possibly suffering, pairing it with an emaciated photo and tagging an official unit can create a strong public presumption of guilt before any medical exam confirms neglect. 2. Reputational damage. The post is public and comes from a respected animal welfare group, so it can trigger mob reactions toward the K9 unit and handler, even if they're later proven innocent. Number 3. Emotional framing. Terms like heroes deserve better and grave concern are emotionally loaded, which can amplify outrage rather than calm investigation. 4. No verification. First, they admit basing the statement on seeing the photographs, without first confirming with veterinary reports or the unit's explanation, which can be seen as reacting before verifying. Verdict. The post is not overtly defamatory because it stops short of direct accusation, but it still has a high risk of causing reputational harm because it publicly implies neglect before facts are confirmed. In advocacy work, this is a gray area. The intention may be protection, but the effect can be trial by social media. If you want, I can rewrite this post to still express concern for the K9, but minimize the risk of harming reputations while the investigation is ongoing. Would you like me to do that?
So, tapos ito, please rewrite ko. Nag-agree ako sa kanya. Tapos ito naman, yung second post na nakita ko, pinaste ko lang dito. Kasama yung, ayan, mga reactions, kung ilan yung nalungkot. Ito, hindi ko nasama eh. Pero mamaya na yan, dito na muna tayo. Ganun lang din ginawa ko, pinaste ko.
This post is emotionally powerful but also potentially harmful because 1. It frames the situation as confirmed neglect without verified facts. The language, I think I deserve better treatment, and the emaciated dog image strongly imply abuse or maltreatment, even before an official investigation or medical results are released. 2. The cartoon visual is exaggerated. The skeletal depiction is a symbolic representation, but to many viewers it appears literal. This can inflame outrage without context and contribute to mob judgment. 3. It uses a first-person narrative from the dog's perspective. This storytelling style is effective for empathy, but makes the accusation personal and emotional, potentially reducing the space for rational discussion. 4. It invites public anger toward a specific group, PNP K9 handlers. Without concrete evidence, this risks damaging reputations and morale within the unit, especially if the condition turns out to have a medical or age-related cause rather than neglect. 5. It can influence influencers and media prematurely. Posts like this tend to spread quickly, creating a public verdict before due process, which can pressure authorities into reactive measures rather than fair investigation. If AKF wanted to protect its credibility and avoid legal reputational risk, this could be rewritten to focus on concern, request for transparency, and call for veterinary evaluation, instead of depicting and narrating confirmed neglect. If you want, I can rewrite this post into a fact-based, still empathetic version that would preserve AKF's advocacy but avoid possible defamation or mob-triggering effects. Would you like me to do that?
So, yun guys ang analysis ng ating mahiwagang bolang kristal nung shinare sa kanya yung image saka yung post. Ayun yung kanyang reaction. Tapos, tinanong ko if yung dog na mataba, abuse din ba yun? Pero bago natin yan itanong sa kanya, kasi ito yung mga ibang nagko-comment. Siniflex nga nila, okay, popost nila yung aso nilang mataba, pupusa nilang mataba. Para proud na proud sila na yung kanilang aso ay healthy, mataba. May problema ba, may issue ba dito sa asong mataba? Hindi ba yun abuse? At yung tanong ko pa, yung iba kasi ngang mga nag-comment dito, may asong na heat stroke. Wala namang masama kung may heat stroke aso mo, kung namatay. Pero kung alam mong mainit, hindi mo nagawa ng paraan, hindi ba yun abuse? O kaya tag-ulan na nga, heat stroke pa yung aso mo? Yung mga ganong bagay ba? Tapos yung iba nga, gino-joke pa nila yung aso nila, magpo-police dog. Tapos yung itsura ng aso nila, ang taba. As in, obese. Kasi yung aso, dapat may rib pa rin niya nakita. Mga hanggang 3. Pero depende din sa breed. At nasa genetics na din kasi. Meron talagang payatin, meron talagang tabain. Dahil nga, selective breeding na yan. Pero sa mga ganitong working dog, hindi kasi sila mas nagbe-breed sa traits na physical traits. Medyo, pero mas gusto nila yung proven working line kaysa sa manghula pa sila ng itong ganitong trait. Kasi tapos na sila dun eh. Dati yung mga working dog nila, Doberman, German Shepherd. Pero nga, yung mga ganun, alam naman natin, malalaki sila, heavy boned, muscles nila malalaki, hingal na hingal sila. Hindi katulad ng mga Belgian na payat, super dog sila. Tapos yung ibang breed pa, pag kumagat, ayaw bumitaw, gigil na gigil pa. So, yun. Kaya itong mga Belgian, sumikat na siya. Sumikat na talaga to dahil hindi naman ganito yung mga police dog na nakikita ako noon. At meron pa nga yung mga hybrid noon. Pinipilit pa nila yung mga classic na police dog. Hybrid nila. At yun yung ginagawa nila working dog. Meron pang ganon. At meron pang mga ibang breed na hindi naman talaga for proven na working sa ganito. Maiintindihan ko yung maliliit na breed kasi ipapatong mo yan, madali mo buhatin, katulad ng nung Jack Russell. Yung mga hotdog na aso, mga Dachshund, magaganda din yung pang-amoy ng mga yon. Kaya lang, ang problema sa kanila, sa sobrang liit nga nila, iksi ng legs nila, edi pagod na sila sa lakad. At yung mga playful breeds naman, yung mga Labrador, so yun naman ang problema naman dun, yung build nila. Tapos pag naging mataba pa sila, tapos pag color black pa sila, ayun, alam nyo na, heat stroke. Pero yun, alamin nga natin yung mga ganitong proud na owner na nagpo-post pa ng kanilang asong mataba. Pero hindi nila inabuso yung aso nila o yung pet nila dahil mataba yung aso nila at pet nila. At yung iba naman na breeder na nagko-comment na nagbe-breed pa ng mga asong wala ng function. Yung binubuhat pa nila sa hagdan. O kaya hirap na hirap kumilos. Hindi mo palabas mo patakbo sa garahe dahil natatakot ka na may stroke yung aso. At proud na proud sila sa build ng aso nila. Mas malapad, mas masaya sila, mas pango, mas masaya sila. Mas maganda. Pero, abuse ba yun o hindi? Kaya tanongin na muna natin sa mataba.
If a dog is overweight or obese, it can be considered a form of neglect or abuse in certain contexts, but it depends on intent, cause, and effect. Here's the breakdown. When it can be considered abuse or neglect, chronic overfeeding without regard for health leads to obesity-related illnesses like diabetes, heart problems, arthritis, and shortened lifespan. Lack of exercise. Especially in active breeds, not providing physical activity is detrimental to both physical and mental health. Knowingly ignoring a veterinarian's advice about weight management, especially if it worsens the dog's condition. Overfeeding for aesthetics or cute chubby appearance, if the owner prioritizes looks or indulgence over the dog's well-being. When it's not necessarily abuse, temporary weight gain due to age, medical conditions, e.g. hypothyroidism, Cushing's disease, or medications like steroids. Owners unaware that the dog's weight is unhealthy, although it's still neglectful if they don't act once informed. Important note, in Philippine law, Animal Welfare Act, RA 8485, as amended by RA 1010-631, unnecessary suffering includes failing to provide proper nutrition and health care. This can apply to both underweight and overweight dogs if their condition affects their welfare. So yes, a fat dog can be a victim of neglect or abuse if the weight is harming its health, and it's caused by the owner's failure to provide proper diet and exercise. If you want, I can make you a side-by-side chart of underweight versus overweight dog neglect signs so it's easy to compare.
So, ayun guys. So, yung mga aso yung proud na proud kayo na mataba, na hindi nyo inabuso, hindi neglect. Ewan ko na lang. Pero yung aso nagtatrabaho, nangayayat sa kakatrabaho. Yung aso mo, yung husky mo, na nandyan sa condominium mo, hindi nakakatakbo, wala kang treadmill, hindi abuso. O kaya yung husky mo at wala kang aircon o naka-off lang yung aircon mo, hindi abuso. Ewan ko na guys. O kaya yung husky mo na pinakalbo mo, pinashave mo, at sasabihin mo, ay hindi ko alam kasi na bawal pala sila i-shave. Hindi abuso. Ayun guys, so napaka-broad nitong topic na to pero ayun lang ang masasabi ko sa ngayon. Dagdagan na lang muna natin sa susunod kapag meron uling ganito. Bye!